In today's session, we will talk about a very important topic of sequential data type, that is set. So we start with one question. Okay. So here first we make one reference with the name SE1 and we use a curly bracket and we want to print the type of it. We want to check the type of it. Okay. So here we want to check the type of SE1. So first pause the video and think, what is the output here? We will get set or not. Okay, so here we will get dictionary as an output. Okay, so actually it will create an object of dictionary. Okay, means that if you want to make an empty set, so that is not possible. If you write like a curly bracket, if you are using a curly bracket, then it will create a dictionary object. Okay, and if you want to create empty set object, so for that you have to use a built-in function and you have to write like this. Now it will create an empty object of set. Okay, now we start with set. What is exactly set? So set is a collection of data where duplicate is not allowed. So important point is duplicate not allowed. Duplicate is not allowed in set. Next important point is it is unordered. It is unordered. So what is the meaning of unordered? Means that it not follow order. Next important point is it is mutable. It is mutable means that if you want to add data, if you want to remove data, then it is possible. And we have a huge function library for set like append, update, remove, pop. Okay, so if you want to add or remove data, then it is possible. So it is immutable, sorry, it is mutable, it is changeable. Next important point is it not follow the concept of object reusability. So it not follow the concept of object reusability. Okay, so to understand these important points, we use a practical approach. So for that we have to make one set with some data. Okay, so we use the same reference SU1 and inside this curly bracket we have to assign some data. Okay, so we have to write some name of students. So Aman, next is Akash, then Ajay and Vijay, and we have to use some duplicate data also. So here we write Aman again, okay, to verify the point. Okay, and again we print SE1. Okay, so if you're in the program, see the output. We will get Vijay, Aman, Ajay and Akash as an output, and it will remove the Aman. It will remove the second Aman because it not allow duplicates. And we'll get Vijay, Aman, Ajay and Akash as an output because it is unordered. Okay. Now we move to the next point. Like it supports the concept of object reusability or not. So to verify this point, we have to make one more reference with the name SE2 and we have to assign the same data. Okay, we have to assign the same data. Now pause the video and think how many objects created in this case. Okay, so to verify the point, we have to check with is operator. So we have to write like this, like SE1 is SE2 and again we have to write like this, like SE1 and we use double equal operator SE2. Okay, so first pause the video and think how many objects created in this case, and we already know that is operator is checking the address. If address same, that will return true. If two different objects created, then it will return false. Okay, and double equal operator is checking the content. If content is same, then we will get true as an output. Okay, so first pause the video and think what is the output in this case. So I already told you set not support the concept of object reusability. So in this case, two different objects created. So for line number 11 we will get false as an output, and for line number 12 we will get true as an output, because content is same, so it will return true, and it will create two different objects. That's why for line number 11 we will get false as an output. To verify this point, again we run the program and see the output. We will get false and true as an output. Hence proved. Set not follow the concept of object reusability. And if you want to wish to print the address of these objects, so with the help of id function you can easily print the address. So we have to write like this, like print id of se1 and print id of se2. Okay, because it will create two different objects, so we'll get two different address in the output. See the output address is different, hence proved it not follow the concept of object reusability. Now we move to the next point. It is mutable or immutable. So it is mutable, means that if we want to add data, then it is possible. So for that we have many functions. Okay, now we move to, like, we want to use these functions, so we remove this part, and now I want to add Rahul to the existing set. Okay, so for that we have add function. So okay, so we have to write like this, like se1 dot, we have to use the add function, and we want to add Rahul. Okay, and we want to check the address also, means that after appending the data the new object is created or not. Okay, so for that we want to check the address before appending and after appending. Okay, so here we use the add function. Okay, not append, add function. Again we want to print the address of se1. Okay, so we print, see the address same, it's mean that it is mutable object. Okay, it will allow to change in an existing object. And we again want to print se1. So see, now the Rahul is append in a existing data. Now if you want to remove data, so we have many function. Okay, if you want to remove, so if you want to remove Ajay, so for that you have to write like this, like se1 dot remove, and we want to remove Akash. So it will remove Akash, and again we have to print se1, so print se1, and again we run the program. Now it will remove Akash from the existing set. Okay, so we have many functions like remove. We have one more function, that is discard. Okay, so se1 dot discard. So, and if you want to discard like Ajay, okay, and here we print se1. So now it will remove Ajay from the existing set. Now the question is, what is the difference between remove and discard? Okay, so if you want to remove like Ravi, and if you run the program, we will get error. Okay, because Ravi is not present in the existing set. Okay, now we will remove this line number 13, 14, and in place of Ajay, again we use Ravi, and again we run the program, and it will not return you error. Means that if you want to remove the data that is not present in the set, so remove function will raise an error. Okay, but discard will not give you any error. So that is actually the difference between the remove and the discard. And you if you want to remove data, so you have one more function, that is pop. Pop will remove any of the data from the list. So if you use pop function, so pop will remove any of the data. Okay, and if you print se1, it will remove any of the data. Okay, so we have one more function, that is pop. Okay, so you have like if you want to add data, so for that you have add function. If you want to remove data, so you have remove, discard, and pop. Okay, now suppose that you have two set. Okay, so next we make another set with the reference as 2, and inside the set we have to put some data like uh, Ravi, then Rahul, Ravi, Raman, Ram, and Krishna. Okay, and we want to add SE2 to SE1. Okay, so for that we have to use update function. Okay, so if you write like this, like SE1 dot, and we have to use the update function, and we want to update, we want to pass SE2 as a parameter inside the update. Now it will update actually SE1. Okay, in this case the data that is present in SE2 will be add in SE1. Okay, so to verify this point we have to print SE1. Okay, means that it will not create any of the new set. It will add the data in the existing set, that is SE1. Okay, see the output. Okay, and if we check the address again of SE1, so print ID of SE1, we want to check it will create new object or not. Okay, so see the address is still same, means that it add the data in SE1. Okay, means that if you want to update the set, so for that we have update method. Okay, and with the help of update you can add group of data in a set. Okay, now we have many more functions like union and intersection. So now we move to that concept. Okay, so for that we have to make again set that is SE1 with some numeric data. Okay, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we have to make one more set with data like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we have to write like this, like SE3 is equal to SE1 dot union. Now we have to use a union, and inside this union function we have to pass SE2. Okay, and now we print SE3. Okay, see the output. It will add the data that is present in SE2 to SE1, but it will remove the duplicate part. Now the question is, what is the difference between the union and update? Because update will doing the same operation now. So actually union will create a new object, but update will change in an existing set. Means that if you write like this, like SE1, okay, here we write like SE1 dot update, and inside this update we have to pass SE2. Okay, and we again print SE1. Okay, so first check the output, see the output. Now the question is that what is the difference between like union and update? So union will create a new object, but the update function will change in the existing set. So it will not create a new object. It will add the data that is present in SE2 in SE1. Okay, so that is actually the difference. Means union will create a new object, but set will not create a new object. Okay, means that if you remove this part and again we run the program. Okay, no worries, perfectly work. And inside this we have to write SE3. Actually I want to verify it will create new object or not, so and print SE3. Okay, so now if we print like again, now if we want to print ID of SE1 and print id of SE3. Okay, actually I want to check it will create new object or not. Okay, because union will create a new object and we want to check. Okay, so for that we again print the id of SE1 and SE3. Okay, if address same, it will it means that it will create a new object. And see, the address same, oh sorry, address different, it means that it will create a new object. Hence conclude union will create a new object but update will not create a new object. Okay, so that is the difference between the union and the update. And we have some more function, like, so again we want to use that function like intersection. If we want to find the intersection, so we have like se1, that the name of the function is intersection, and you have to pass se2 here. And again then this method intersection will create a new object for you, so you have to use some reference se3. Okay, and if you print se3, if you want to print se3, so you have to write like this, like print se3. So it will give you 2, 3, 4 and 5, means that the common part that present in se1 and se2. And as I say, it will create a new object for you. Okay, so and if you not want to create a new object, so for that we have one more function, that is I think intersection update. Okay, so se1 dot, the name of the function is intersection update. Okay, it is same as intersection but it will not create a new object. So if here if you write like this, like se2, and if you print se1, so you will get a same output, but it will not create a new object. See, so I think you will get a better understanding what is the difference between the intersection and intersection update. Intersection will always give you the common part, okay, that is present in two different set. But the difference between the intersection and intersection update is that intersection will create a new object and intersection update will not create a new object. Okay, and there is some more function also, like se1 dot, the name of the function is the difference, and here we pass se2 and we print se3. Okay, so again we run the program, so we'll get 1 as an output because 2, 3, 4, 5 is already present in se2, and we write se1 dot difference of se2. Okay, and that is the reason we will get se3 as an output. Okay, in place of difference, if you want to use the operator, so if you write like this, like, so it will also work se1 dot se2, it will also work and you will get 1 as an output. Even for union also, if you write like this, like se4 dot se1, and for union you use a operator, that operator, and if you write like this, it will behave like a union. Okay, and for intersection we have operator, so if you write like this, se1 and se2. Okay, so it will also means that in place of difference, if you use a minus operator, so it will give you the same output. Okay, difference. Okay, so in place of difference, if you use a minus, then it will work. In place of union, if you use that straight line operator, okay, so it will also work. And in place of intersection, if we use that AND operator, so it will work. So that intersection. Okay, so if you want to print it, so you can easily print it here, like print se4, print se5. Okay, now we run the program, see the output. Okay, now another question is, it support indexing or slicing around. Okay, so means that if you write like this, like print, here we want to print se1, and in bracket we want to access so for checking like indexing and slicing, first we have to remove these line, because we want to check indexing or slicing is applicable or not. So indexing is not applicable in set because it is unordered, if you write like this, like se1, and if you want to fetch, if you want to print what is actually present at index 4, so you will get error. Okay, so you will get set object is not subscriptable, so indexing and slicing is not applicable in set. So that is a very important point. That is very important point. So set is not subscriptable. Okay, and even if you use a slicing, like if you use a slicing like this, so again you will get error. Okay, so again if we run the program, we will get the same error. Set object is not subscriptable. Hence proof indexing and slicing is not applicable in set because set is unordered. Okay, so that is a very important point. That is very important point. Indexing and slicing operation is not applicable in set. Okay, now if we want to fetch data, okay, so for that with the help of for you can easily fetch. So for that you have to write like this, like for I in se1, and here we want to print we want to print I. Then it will iterate one value from the set and give you the output 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so if you want to use for loop with set, so that is possible. Even if you want to check, okay, so if you want to check like 6 in se1 means that if you want to perform a searching operation, okay, so that is also possible with the help of in operator. Here you will get false as an output. Okay, and if you want to perform a searching operation like this, like 8 not in se1, so if you want to perform a searching operation, so that is possible with the help of in or not in operator. Okay, so here we get false and true as an output. So that is actually set. So the important point about the set is duplicate is not allowed in set. It is unordered. It is mutable because it have a huge library like add method, add, update, pop, remove. Okay, and you have some more function like clear. Okay, so there are a huge library for set, and set not for the concept of object reusability. Okay, so that's all with my today's session. Thank you so much.